Today at Deutsche Auto Parts, we're going to be going over replacing a 2.0 TSI PCV valve. This valve is fairly common to fail, and potential failures can be from this valve on the bottom getting stuck open. The failures can result in multiple symptoms, anything from codes that are misfire codes, which would be P0300, also as well as P0171, which is a Bank 1 System 2 lean fault, as well as P0507, idle air control system RPM higher than expected. These are potential failures that could be a result of this problem. They can also cause other problems. They may signify misfire problems related to ignition coils or vacuum leaks or other things. So just keep in mind that isn't a diagnosis of your vehicle. That just is a guide to kind of put you in the direction of maybe this part would be something you want to check. Also, other problems related to PCV valve failures would be something that would be a whistle noise coming from the valve cover of the vehicle at idle, and a rough idle or a surging idle. Something to keep in mind when looking at these valves, when you're looking at purchasing one, the one we offer is the Volkswagen and Audi version. The version that is most current at this time of this video is 06H103495AC Alpha Charlie. This has been revised multiple times. First it was an A, then it went to an E, now it's since been replaced by the AC. Make sure there are a ton of aftermarket versions out there. You want to make sure you're getting the most updated version, and to the best of our knowledge, Volkswagen and Audi are the only people who offer that. When installing a 2.0 TSI PCV valve, all you'll need is a small pocket screwdriver with a flathead and a T30 Torx. When installing the PCV valve, you start by removing the engine cover. All we have to do is pull up. It's very simple to remove. Then we can remove the ignition coil connectors by pushing back on the tab at the back of the connector and then working them off. Once we have that out of the way, we can remove cylinder 3 and 4 ignition coils. We won't need to remove any other ones for this install. Then we can remove this PCV pipe. This connects the intake manifold right here to the PCV valve. It's easiest with a small screwdriver to just pry ever so slightly on the tabs here. They also have little ribbings that you can push in, but we found using a small screwdriver is an easier way to attach that or detach that. Keep in mind this is plastic. If you pull this too hard or work with it too much, you could crack this tube, and that will definitely be a problem. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the 9 screws that are T30 Torx that hold this to the valve cover. There's also another T30 Torx making a 10th T30 Torx that holds the rear PCV valve pipe that goes into the intake tube right here to the valve cover. This keeps it in place to make sure that nothing happens. So we can start by removing those. Now we can loosen that up. You take a look at this. This just pulls out this hose. And you see there's a seal there, and it's just a tension fit. Now your PCV valve should just pull up and out of the way. It is very normal to have oil residue along here. You are going to need to make sure that you clean that up before reinstalling the new valve. Also be careful, do not drop anything down into the cylinder head here because it is exposed and you will probably lose whatever's in there and potentially damage your engine if you start the vehicle with anything that has fallen into the valve cover. Once we've gotten that all cleaned off, now we're ready to install our new valve. We can just drop it in place and slide this back in place. Again, that is plastic as well, so you do want to be very careful with that to make sure that it doesn't crack. Now we can go ahead and reinstall all of our bolts. All right, once we've tightened them all down, we can reinstall this tube here by simply just pushing it in place. You should hear it clip on and be all set. We can reinstall our ignition coils in cylinder 3 and 4. And then we can reinstall the ignition coil connectors. Now we're all set to reinstall the engine cover. Just lay it in place. And pop it on.